When I graduated high school, I took a live-in nanny job because I needed a year off to decompress. I had a bit of a rough senior year, and everyone, including my parents, thought it would be a great idea to take a year off of school before hopping straight into another 4 years of college. But I still needed to make money during this time. I loved kids. I was going to go to school to get a degree in early childhood education. So when I saw an ad for a live-in nanny position, I jumped on it. The family I would be working for just needed someone through the summer while the kids were off of school, so it was perfect. I'd move in the beginning of June and out by the first week of September. They had a small room for me with my own bathroom, and they would be paying me as well. The kids were 8 and 11, both girls, and the parents insisted on a kind of tryout day, where I went over and spent a day with them to make sure I was a good fit. Or as the mom said, more like to make sure they don't drive you straight out of here like our nanny last summer, which should have been a red flag. But I took it as her trying to explain away wanting to watch me and make sure I could properly care for her kids before inviting me to move in. The day went perfectly, and the girls really took to me, so I was offered the position before leaving that evening. In fact, the girls didn't want me to leave, so they asked if I would stay for dinner. I moved in that weekend, so I had time to unpack and get a feel for their daily lives before being turned loose on Monday with them. On Saturday, I brought my bag over and we got the paperwork out of the way first. Then the girls wanted to show me their rooms and play tag in the yard. I didn't even have time to take my bags to my room. Their mother said she would, laughing as the girls both tugged on an arm. Later, they insisted on watching a movie and having snacks, while dinner was being made. Of course, when I tried to slip away to unpack at least a little, they protested. Finally, after dinner, I was able to slip away for a while, because every Saturday, their dad always took them for ice cream after dinner. I claimed to be too full and exhausted to go with, but really I just wanted a minute to breathe. I grabbed my first suitcase, put it in the middle of my bed, and started unpacking my clothes first. My room had a built-in private bathroom and vanity, so I also brought all of my makeup, shower gels, etc. I was putting my large assortment of leggings away in one of the dresser drawers when there was a knock at my door. I shook my head and chuckled. The girls must be back already and coming to drag me off somewhere. I opened the door, and no one was there. Still thinking it was the girls, probably playing a little prank, I walked out towards the kitchen, laughing. Real funny, girls, how was ice cream? But there was no one in the kitchen or living room. Heading to the window, I realized the car was still gone. Jessica, you're way overexhausted. You're imagining things, I thought to myself. Heading back to at least finish unpacking the suitcase with my clothes in it so I wasn't scrambling around for clothes the next day, I stopped at the fridge to grab a bottle of water. As the door shut, I heard a crash from my room. I went running, not knowing what it could be, but knowing it was loud. My suitcase, that was sitting in the middle of my bed, was now on the floor, about 5 feet away from it, clothes scattered everywhere. The window was open, but it would have had to have been near hurricane-like winds coming in to blow the suitcase full of clothes off the bed like that. I sat down, head spinning, not sure what to think. There were no animals in the house, so it's not like a naughty dog came in and flipped it over. The kids were still gone with their dad, and their mom had retreated to her office to check work emails, and none of them, even the kids, would do something that dramatic. The mom, Shayla, came down. "Jessica, are you okay? I heard a crash down here," she asked, spotting the suitcase on the floor. I was getting a bottle of water, and as I shut the fridge, I heard the crash. I came in, and the suitcase was gone from the middle of the bed, I said, clearly still shaken up. The window's open, and it is breezy out. It had to be the wind, Shayla said, patting me on the back. Why don't we shut the window and you come join me in the kitchen for a cup of tea, she added. We talked until the girls got home, then we ran through their bedtime routine together, something we obviously didn't do on my trial day. For a little while, just as long as it took to get the kids settled in bed, I forgot about the events of the evening. Afterwards, I retreated to my room, not feeling comfortable, but knowing I needed to get everything cleaned up and put away, because come Monday, I would be too busy. I got my clothes picked up off the floor and put in the dresser, and then began to unpack some of my bathroom items so I could grab a shower. I set my cell phone on my dresser, grabbed some clean pajamas and a couple of towels, and headed to the bathroom. Halfway through my shower, there was a knock on my bathroom door. "I'm in the shower, I'll be out in a minute," I yelled. There was another knock. "I'll be out in a sec," I yelled louder, thinking maybe whoever it was just didn't hear me the first time. But again, there was another knock. "I said I'll be out in a sec," I yelled at the top of my lungs this time, shutting off the shower. I quickly dried off and yanked the bathroom door open. But again, no one was there. A few seconds later, in walked Shayla. "I heard yelling. Are you okay?" she asked, obviously out of breath from rushing down the stairs. There were 3 separate knocks on my bathroom door, so I was yelling loud enough for whoever to hear me. But no one was there when I opened it, I said. "Oh, sweetie, I forgot to warn you that this house makes a lot of noise. It's old," she said. "It doesn't look old because we had fully renovated it, but it is," she said, turning to go. I wish I could say that was the end of it, and it was explained by old house noises and wind blowing in the window. But that night got far, far worse. I had fallen asleep after scrolling social media and playing a few games to calm myself down. I was rudely awoken by a tap on my shoulder. At first, I thought it was just one of the kids. Hoping no one was sick, I sat up and grabbed my glasses. But I screamed when I realized it was a shadowy figure who had moved to the end of my bed. "Who are you and what do you want?" I yelled. He said nothing, turned to walk away, and disappeared into thin air when Shayla opened my bedroom door. I didn't quit, but I demanded a different room if I was going to stay. They switched me to the guest room, and I didn't have any more problems the entire summer. I don't know who the shadowy figure was, or why he was haunting that room, but now I know the previous nanny didn't leave because of the kids. That will teach you to take a year off from anything. But in all seriousness, I'm glad you weren't hurt. That must have been traumatic, and thank you for sharing your story. If you have a paranormal story, email it to the address in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And with that, see you tomorrow, friends.